The Subaru Forester for a long time has been established as one of the go-to models in the crossover SUV segment. But what happens nowadays is that more and more buyers are starting to avoid the Forester. So Subaru had to pull something out and introduce a brand new model for the 2025 model year. Now, you might be asking yourself, what are these problems that plague the Subaru Forester? If you want to learn about these issues, stay with us while we cover the 6 problems with the Subaru Forester you must know. Number 6. Lackluster acceleration. Now, let's start with one of the biggest problems of the Subaru Forester, and that is the lackluster acceleration of this vehicle. People are simply fed up with the fact that the Forester is so damn slow. We live in a turbo era where manufacturers are starting to offer powerful turbocharged engines that produce some serious power and deliver strong acceleration. But not Subaru. This brand still relies on an engine that's basically a 15-year-old design. We're talking here about the 2.5-liter Boxer engine. This engine, besides the direct injection that it received in recent years, there are zero changes done to it. It might be one of the best when it comes to the driving dynamics that it delivers with the low center of gravity and all that, but it lacks power. The engine only makes a modest 180 HP and 178 pound-feet of torque. That's not a lot of power for a modern vehicle. With each iteration, the Forester becomes heavier and heavier, so having a powertrain that delivers such a low power output is a deal breaker for many. In terms of numbers, the model takes 8.2 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60. This makes the Forester pretty dangerous. Why do we say so? Well, this is the case because acceleration has to be good in order for you to overtake slow-moving vehicles. If the car doesn't have the punch to deliver, it might become rather dangerous. Just imagine that you're trying to overtake a slow truck, but you don't have enough power to do so. Overall, it's not a good situation. So you get the idea why we're saying that this is a potentially dangerous vehicle. If you want something punchier, we recommend choosing the Mazda CX-50 Turbo. This model will blow you away with its performance. We hope that Subaru will fix this problem and implement a turbo engine in the lineup for those who look for performance. They already have the 2.4-liter turbo that makes some massive numbers of 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. So bringing this engine to the lineup will bring a ton of sales for Subaru. That's why, cross your fingers and hope that Subaru will listen and bring this engine to the lineup. Number 5. No hybrid powertrain. Now, let's cover another problem that's closely connected with the powertrain, which is the lack of a hybrid. We live in a hybrid era, and having no hybrid in this time means that you lose plenty of sales. Buyers are very interested in these powertrains, and this is why they simply avoid the models that lack a hybrid offering. Subaru is very persistent in not delivering a hybrid engine to the lineup, and this does not do anything good for the brand. Buyers opt for competitors like the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V Hybrid, so if Subaru had this engine available in the lineup, they could have generated 20% sales or more. In recent times, Subaru unveiled the 6th generation Forester for the 2025 model year, and unfortunately, this model also did not bring a hybrid powertrain. This disappointed a lot of buyers, but one good news is the fact that this model will become available from 2026 onwards. Little is known about this powertrain, and we can't wait to share the news with you. However, based on some industry information, this could be a powertrain that's not made by Subaru. This brand has a long-term partnership with Toyota, and we can expect that the brand will adopt a Toyota engine for the hybrid model. This might be the same 2.5-liter Atkinson cycle engine used in the RAV4. This specific engine was also adopted by Mazda in the CX-50 hybrid model, so it's expected that the Japanese connection will work out pretty well. Another option is Toyota to help Subaru develop a hybrid powertrain with their own technologies for the Boxer engine. However, only time will tell what will happen. One thing is for certain, and that's the fact that the Forester needs a hybrid powertrain, and it needs it fast. If not, sales would be lost, and also a significant portion of the market share in the process. Number 4. Average fuel economy. Another problem with the current Subaru Forester is the fact that the model is pretty average when it comes to fuel consumption. In other words, higher numbers are expected from this model in order to compete with the likes of the RAV4 and the CR-V. In terms of numbers, the Subaru Forester only delivers up to 26 mpg in the city and 33 mpg on the highway. As you can tell, the fuel consumption in the city is quite high, so if you drive a lot through the city, you'll pay more regular visits to the gas station compared to other models that have a hybrid powertrain. For example, the Toyota RAV4 mild hybrid model will deliver up to 39 mpg on the highway and 43 mpg in the city, with a combined fuel economy of 40 mpg. Other models, like the Honda CR-V, will also deliver up to 43 mpg in the city and 36 mpg on the highway. So you see how crucial these hybrid systems are for modern vehicles. Fuel economy will increase substantially if Subaru decides to add a hybrid to the lineup. This would make the model perfect for eco-conscious buyers who are now avoiding it because of its lack of a hybrid powertrain. Number 3. Limited cargo space. Now let's talk about another downside of the Subaru Forester. This is the poor practicality aspect. This model is simply not as practical as some would expect. It has a cargo compartment of only 28.9 cubic feet in the rear. Only if you fold the rear seats down, you will unlock up to 74.2 cubic feet of space. The full space is larger than some of its competitors, but if you don't fold the seats down, the room is quite poor. Just for reference, the Toyota RAV4 has up to 37.5 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats. This is almost 10 cubic feet of space extra compared to the Subaru Forester. This is a problem that cannot be easily solved since it would require a major redesign and improvement. That's why it's a deal breaker for many out there. In addition to this, we must add the limited towing capacity of the Subaru Forester. As standard, this model can only tow up to 1,500 pounds, which is not enough. You will need to get the wilderness trim in order to unlock the full potential of 3,000 pounds. This is a big deal breaker because many buyers, even though have the same engine, they cannot tow 3,000 pounds. This wilderness trim is substantially more expensive than the base or premium trims in the lineup. Number 2. Poor infotainment system. Another huge problem with the Subaru Forester is the poor infotainment system that these models pack. This isn't only the case with the Forester, but along the whole spectrum of Subaru vehicles. The infotainment of these models is not particularly good. This is the case because Subaru is not one of the best when it comes to designing such systems. The hardware they use is very slow, the optimization is poor, and also the graphics are pretty outdated for modern standards. This would also be the case with the latest Forester model. This is a big area of improvement for Subaru. These little things are very important for young buyers who love technology. A little bit more powerful hardware and software design will bring plenty of sales for Subaru. One thing that makes living with a Subaru easier is the fact that you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration, so you can just connect your phone to the car and you'll be good to go. These systems are much better polished and responsive. That's why we recommend this to anyone who owns a car with a clunky OEM system. Number 1. Poor handling. And the biggest con of the Subaru Forester is the poor handling. This model comes with a powerful AWD system, but the thing that many owners complained about was the lack of response from the steering. This model does not have one of the best steering feedbacks out there. This is the case because Subaru didn't put much effort into improving how this model drives. So the steering feels vague and it lacks response. It's good for commuting, but nothing too special that will engage you and give you that thrill and joy of driving a proper modern performance vehicle. And this is an aspect that a manufacturer should not cheap out on, especially with the introduction of competitors like the Mazda CX-50. This model is quite a driving machine and fun to drive model. So buyers who want to get something more performance-oriented are going elsewhere. That's why Subaru should definitely fix that and bring these improvements to the table.